Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Clara. I'm the Sales Marketing Manager here at Beekast, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make quick and efficient collective decisions with Beekast. So let's get started. First things first, I want to share with you a quick definition of what collective decision making is. So, the process, which is also known as group decision making or collaborative decision making, basically occurs when a group makes a decision and it's no longer attributable to any single individual. This method really offers a lot of advantages and some challenges, of course, which we're going to see right now. So, first, what's great about group decisions? Well, the first thing is that you get a lot more information since more people are sharing their ideas and knowledge surrounding the topic. This also makes your final decision better because it's been reviewed by different people who each have different opinions and levels of expertise on the subject. Now, collaborative decision making can also lead to a stronger company culture. Asking employees for their opinions and ideas and taking these thoughts into consideration will make them feel more implicated in the project. By doing this, your team is also more likely to accept and embrace changes much faster since they will have participated in the final decision. Now, it's also important to make sure more people's voices are being heard, especially today, in order to really build a strong company culture, but also a happy work environment. Now, as you can see on the right side of this presentation, there are also some challenges when it comes to collective decision making. In fact, it's not always that easy. First of all, you're working with so many different people. The process can be time consuming. Putting together a brainstorming session, asking everyone to participate, and then organizing everybody's thoughts are all factors that you have to think of ahead of time when preparing a collective decision making workshop. And sometimes, of course, you can have part of your group that participates a lot and two or three members who don't feel as comfortable sharing their thoughts with the group. This means that they're a little more likely to maybe just agree with whoever has the loudest idea, for example. And then, of course, the entire collective decision making process loses some of its value because the final decision isn't actually that representative of everybody's thoughts. And it actually might leave some of your participants frustrated. So, this is why at Beekast we've created different collective decision making templates in order to really help you and your team reach your goals in an efficient and interactive way. So, the idea is going to be to help you save time by using these templates instead of having to create your presentation from scratch. Here you can simply launch an activity and let Beekast do most of the work for you. Let me show you how this works. So, for example, I'm going to go on the Beecast Inspiration website. Here we go. All right, so here we are on the Beecast Inspiration website. What's great about this website is that you're really going to have every single template that we've ever created for you. And all of these templates have different goals and they can answer different needs. So what we have to do now is help you find the perfect template for you. So in order to do this, you can use this little search bar right here at the beginning of the website, and you can basically search for the type of template you want. For example, is it going to be an activity template, just one single activity that's already kind of been planned out for you, or is it going to be a session template? Session templates are basically presentations, BCAS sessions that are already planned out with multiple activities within them. Here, we're going to use activity templates. Now we choose a goal. What's really cool here is that you have a lot of different goals. For example, initiate communication, which is going to give you mini icebreakers, for example. We're going to choose prioritize and decide together because this is where the whole collective decision making templates are. And finally, we're going to choose the number of participants that are going to be in our session. Here, we can have less than 10, for example, a small meeting, or over 50 if you're going to be in a really large group. I'm going to leave this part blank because I don't actually have a number in mind, and I think it's interesting just to see what Bcast offers us with these two criterias. So I'm going to click on search. And as you can see, we now have 4 templates that are being offered to us. So you can really tell that it's pretty easy to use. The Beekast Inspiration website is really here to make your life easier, to save time as well. So make sure to use our Beekast Inspiration website whenever you're looking for the right template for you. And the one we're going to be looking at today is called the dotmocracy. So the dotmocracy, for example, here is basically an activity, a template, where participants are asked to vote on a set of ideas. And in order to do so, they have a number of points they can dole out among ideas they'd like to focus on the most. So let me show you now how you can use the dotmocracy directly in a BCAS session. I'm first going to show you actually how the dotmocracy works. Basically, this is a template that you can use to quickly prioritize ideas through a vote. It's really great if you're looking to make collective decisions in a group of 2 to 50 people in a relatively short amount of time. Now, there are 2 steps to this activity. First of all, there's the brainstorming session where everybody's going to be able to share an idea based on the subject at hand. And afterwards, everyone will be able to vote by giving a certain amount of points to the ideas they think are the best. Let me show you exactly what this looks like in practice. So to add the dotmocracy template, I'm just going to click down below here on Add a Slide. I'm going to go in Templates instead of My Activities, clicking on Templates, and then just looking up dotmocracy. I'm clicking on Import, and as you can tell, my dotmocracy activity has popped up right here. So now I'm just going to give my activity a name, so a theme, a topic. This is really up to you. You can choose whatever you wish to add here. For this activity, we're going to ask our participants to choose the next webinar topic, and I'm saving it. And now I can really just launch my activity. So if I'm launching my activity, as you can see, I can now send ideas. I'm all alone today doing this video for you, so I'll be sending in ideas, but the main idea, of course, when you're doing this activity is that you're going to be with a group of people. So just imagine all of these ideas being generated by multiple individuals. All right, let's go. First idea could be icebreakers, maybe learning more about icebreakers. You could have something basically on maybe managing in a hybrid environment, which is something I think a lot of us are learning about this year and even the year before that. Basically, you just really get to put in any type of theme or topic that would be interesting for you or interesting for the group. So everyone here, let's just imagine it, is sending in their ideas. And at the end, when maybe you have generated 10, 15, 20 ideas, you can decide to organize some of them. So let's say that theme 3 and theme 5 are basically the same thing. So what I could do is just take this, say create a group, and I'm going to say this is about, let's imagine integrations. So let's imagine my theme is now integrations. In my idea, theme 5 could actually be, maybe theme 5 is about Beekast in Microsoft Teams. And maybe my theme 3 is about Beekast in Zoom. And as you can see, I can just click and kind of drag and drop this in my new folder. And then it'll be easier for me to find this. Oh, let me just drag and drop this. Here it is. And basically, I now have my 2 ideas that are organized in one folder. So then when I decide to stop this kind of first step in brainstorming, I can then launch the second step, which is the polling part of the activity. So I'm going to click on Start Polling, and everyone is going to receive this little pop-up screen right here, which explains to me that a voting session has just started and that I can now kind of distribute points to the ideas that I think are the most interesting. You can decide how many points there are. Here I've decided that there are 5 points to give out to these ideas. They can go up to 10. It can be as little as one if maybe you want to kind of force your participants to only vote for one idea. But here, let's say that I get to vote for up to 5 ideas, or even attribute maybe 5 points to one idea if I want that idea to really win, if I think it's the most important one. So now, imagining that we're maybe 10 people working on this topic, working on this activity, we all get to distribute 5 points to any idea that we think matters the most. So let's say that I really like icebreakers. I'll give 2 points to that. Let's say that I think the integrations could be cool. I'll give 1 point. And then I'll give the rest of my points to managing in a hybrid environment. And I can then click on validate. So really just confirming my votes. As you can see here on the top part of the screen, I can see that there's an ongoing polling happening and 5 points have been distributed. And then I can just decide to stop polling. So at the end of my activity, all the points are going to show up. So if someone else had voted with me, these points would be added up. So maybe here there would be like 4 points, maybe here there would be 3. And what's really great, especially if you have a lot of ideas that were generated during the first part of this activity, is that in order to make this more visually easy to read, you can just click down below here on the bottom right corner of your screen on polling result. And as you can see, you now have a ranking system. So you can see that first place is icebreakers. Also first place, because both of these were for 2 points, is managing in a hybrid environment. And then last place is integrations. So once again, if you have maybe 40 ideas here, they would all appear in a ranking system based on the number of points that they got. And afterwards, this is a great way to finish the activity and kind of be able to see which decisions stand out in order to turn these ideas into an action plan. So with Beekast, actually, you can send an action plan to everyone on your team through email. And let me just show you exactly how that works. So once I've kind of made all my decisions here, let me just move my little camera over. I'm going to have on the left side of my presentation, in my Beekast session, of course, I'm going to have a little tab called Actions and Decisions. And if I click on Add, I can add an action or I can make a decision. Here, let's make a decision. So in my decision title, I'm going to say next webinar topic. And I'm going to say in the details, well, for our next 2 webinars, because here we have actually kind of a top 2, since icebreakers and managing in a hybrid environment both got 2 points. I'm going to say for our next 2 webinars, we're going to have icebreakers, and then we're going to have the topic managing in a hybrid environment. Whoops. Looks like I cannot spell today. Okay, great. And then here today, we can't actually do the suggested by because as you can see, I'm actually connected in a private anonymous session. So people who are in the session would not be able to see that it's me, that it's Clara. They would only see this little animal. And as you can tell right here in participants, there you have it. You have Smart Spider, and I am an hérisson intelligent. So yeah, there are no names to actually use to attribute any tasks to. So I'm not going to be able to do that. But when you are in a Beekast session, you are connected to your account and you are in a public public session, which means that everyone is identified with their Beekast Beekast profile exactly. You are going to be able to log in and kind of add, whoops, let me come back here to my decision. Yeah, you're going to be able to suggest someone saying, well, this decision was suggested by Clara, for example. So not to rewrite everything. You get the idea, you have your title, you have your details, and then you can say who suggested, who made this decision, and you're adding it. This is exactly the same thing for an action. When you make an action, the only difference is that here you're going to say, well, what are the next steps? So you can just write down here what you need. As you can see, assigned to, this is exactly the same thing that we've just seen, but at the end you can add a due date, which is great. So let's say for next week, a priority. This is, or let's say medium priority. It's something that has to be done next week, so it's, you still have time. And finally, status, so to do, in progress, or done. And just by clicking this and by assigning it to someone, this person will receive a notification on their Beekast account saying, hey, someone assigned a task to you, an action, and you have to do this. And better yet, once I kind of have all of my actions and decisions in my session and I finish my session, I can go in the document part right here. This is on the really the left side of your screen. If I click on documents, I'm going to have a couple of possibilities. And the first one is an action plan. And as you can see, this is going to send an action plan by email directly to me. So by clicking on send, it's generating the document, and basically that means that it has been sent to my email address, and I then have kind of a recap of every action and decision that was made during this meeting. So I'm going to get all of these, let me come back. So I'm going to get all of these steps here in my email, and I can then share that email to everyone in my team, and they will also receive a notification and be able to change the step. So they'll be able to say, well, this is in progress, for example, and I can go back and see where everyone is currently at. In their whole process and in the whole actions and decisions and the action plan and how everyone is kind of moving along. So just a really, really handy feature, that we have at Beekast, and that I definitely encourage you to use, especially when you want to be doing an efficient meeting. And as you can see here, this is just a really easy way to create very lively, efficient, collaborative, interactive decision-making workshops just with one template. Now, do feel free to check out some of our other templates. I personally love the dotmocracy. I feel like it's very easy to use. You can do it in a group of 2 to 50 people. You get a lot of ideas that can be generated. So you're also kind of in this brainstorming activity. And then at the end, everyone gets to share their opinion on the subject and vote for the idea that they like the most. And it's just so easy for you as a manager in the end to be able to kind of see each result and read visually, okay, so which idea has the most points and why, and how can we turn this idea into an actual decision and then add it into an action plan. So yeah, just very, very handy. And that is all that I have for you today. So I wanted to thank you for tagging along in this video. I hope that I was as clear as possible. I hope that this was easy to understand and that it brought you a little bit more information and maybe some inspiration on possible workshops and meetings that you could put together for you and your team. Do feel free to check out some of our other videos. We have a lot of other little videos like this on our website in the webinar section of the website. So feel free to check out some of these other videos to learn more about how you can use Beekast to really boost your interactions and your collaboration within your team and within your company. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon for another video. Goodbye.